This battle right now is a battle of you're a white person, I'm a white person. Yeah. Governor Gavin Newsom was actually shedding tears, expressing how sad and how disgusting it is that the whole president is actually destroying history. Not only destroying history, he's actually trying to destroy the whole American. Of which, as far as I'm concerned, the orange man has already done that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not seeing him trying to rebuild. I'm seeing him trying to make the next person that's going to take over as president have a lot of job to do in setting the country back to how it used to be or more than where it used to be before the person realize the tenure is over. That is what I actually see when I see this man. And that is why I keep telling people that as far as I'm concerned, every single step that this orange man is taking this step as a form of setting a trap that will actually trap a lot of people in a particular position until your tenure is over. Because imagine what is actually going on generally. And as at this time, this man is trying not only to do anything, not listening to the poor, not listening to the cries of even people that actually voted him in, and of which is very good for them. But this man is literally building, demolishing, and building new Trump ballroom. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of this video. Let's watch, and I'll be back with commentaries.
At a time the federal government is closed and Donald Trump has literally destroyed the East Wing of our White House to put his ballroom up for $250 million, we are now days away from eliminating food to 5.5 million Californians around Thanksgiving, at a time when food prices have never been higher because of Donald Trump's policies. Have you had a cup of coffee? Have you bought a pound of beef? At the same time, he found $20 billion to send to a fill in the blank. Maybe he's a dictator. Some have referred to him as that. In Argentina, he's cutting food to people around Thanksgiving. You've seen the lines of people already around the food banks. So we are fast-tracking an $80 million investment. We're front-loading it to get them to food banks. And we're using the framework that we established during COVID to build out our capacity to deliver quickly food to those in need around Thanksgiving by using Cal Volunteers and the National Guard, which is exactly what we did to distribute 800 million meals during COVID.
As a former White House staffer, I wanted to give my 2 cents on the construction of Trump's new ballroom. Whether you're like me and you worked in those halls and you find it to be a sacred building, or you just care about its rich history, I'm going to be honest, seeing those images of them demolishing the East Wing feels like a gut punch right now. Now, one could argue that there is a need for a larger ballroom at the White House to host larger events. The issue at hand, though, is that Trump did not go through the proper protocols to get this ballroom approved. And instead, in the middle of a government shutdown, decided to take a wrecking ball to the East Wing after promising the American people that his new ballroom would not touch the existing structure. And let's break down the facts about this ballroom. It is going to be a cost estimated of $250 to $300 million that he says he's getting donations from private donors to pay for. You look at the list of some of the donors that the White House has released, it's companies like Amazon, Meta, Comcast, Palantir, the list goes on. And you can't help but think that this just reeks of bribery and corruption. And this is just the latest example of corruption in this administration. You look at some of the other things that are happening, whether that be him accepting a luxury jet from Qatar, him refusing to release the Epstein files and covering up for Lord knows who, or him profiting off the presidency and enriching himself and making millions upon millions of dollars. And I swear to God, my head will explode if I hear one more Republican say, but Obama built a basketball court. No, he didn't. There was an existing tennis court and he painted basketball lines on it. Totally different situations. Can you even imagine if Obama took a wrecking ball to the East Wing to build his basketball court? The Republicans at the time would have been calling for him to be impeached. The White House is referred to as the People's House for a reason. It does not belong to him. And it was modeled in a way that is more modest rather than opulent because we didn't want to view the president as royalty. But obviously, this doesn't fit in line with Trump's taste or his views of the presidency. And so he's reshaping it to be what he wants and fit his more gaudy, Liberace-esque style. And I'm not even sure if people realize just how big this ballroom is going to be. It's going to be 90,000 square feet. Now, to put that into context, the main White House structure, the executive residence, is around 55,000 square feet. But if I had to describe the second Trump administration with a metaphor, there's really nothing that sums it up better than this. Trump is demolishing the historic East Wing to put in a gaudy, lavish ballroom so that way he can host private dinners for his billionaire donors who are basically bribing him.
Donald Trump is literally destroying the existing White House to build his $250 million ballroom that he promised us was not going to interfere with the historic old structure. This is what they're doing today. They're literally destroying the White House to build his stupid ballroom. The ballroom's going to be equal to the size of the White House that already exists. That's how gaudy and hideous this is going to be. It's going to double the size of the White House. Let me read you the quote from Trump. "It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite. It's my favorite place. I love it." He's tearing it down, guys. This part of the White House, the East Wing, has been around since 1902, traditionally used by first ladies. That's a good 123 years, guys. 123 years of American history that this guy has just destroyed because no one has the backbone to stand up to him and say, stop. It's also a metaphor for our entire country, what he's doing today. He's tearing it down bit by bit, and nobody is saying no.
Democrats, I'm going to need you to come to the front. Come to the front, okay? Y'all need to stop letting people on social media lie to you and get you all worked up, okay? The latest hubbub this week is everyone is outraged because a hallway at the White House is being taken down to put up a ballroom that President Trump is paying for out of his own pocket along with private investors. Okay, let me say that again. Is paying for it out of his own pocket along with private investors. Did you hear that? And a hallway is being taken down. So when they have foreign dignitaries come and foreign leaders come, they don't have to put up the big white tent like they always have to do because the ballroom they have now basically holds 80 people. Now this one will hold a lot more. And the fact that presidents all before Donald Trump have created changes to the White House and the taxpayers have paid for it. Obama put in a basketball court. I don't know what a basketball court did for the American people, but I mean, here we are. It's a basketball court, but I do know a ballroom will do well because many different, decades after, the worst part is Trump's legacy will be put on that White House and there's not a fucking thing you can do about it for generations to come. That will be Trump's ballroom. And it's going to trigger the shit out of you for decades to come. But let's get back to the situation. I actually laughed on X when Hillary Clinton put up a picture of the hallway being demolished, being like, this is not his house. This is our house. You know what I told her? Babes, maybe you sit this one out because your husband was quite literally getting blowjobs in the Oval Office. Wasn't his house either, babes. Wasn't his living room or his bedroom, but was receiving fucking blowjobs in the Oval Office. Maybe you sit this one out, Hillary, okay? About not being his, it's not his house. Oh, the outrage. What? Your husband was quite literally getting blowjobs in the Oval Office. Maybe you sit this one out, Hillary. But stop letting these people get you guys so worked up. Oh my God, he's ending SNAP benefits and oh my God, there's a, ballroom being built. Yeah. And it's being paid for out of his own pocket along with private investors. And it's no different than any other president that has made changes to the White House. They are allowed to do so, especially because he's paying for it out of his own pocket. Like, fuck, man. You guys watch Harry and Chris. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think Harry's even talked about it because he's been so triggered for a week over a meme. He's crying all over Piers Morgan every night. Oh, Trump hurt my feelings. Oh, whatever. But you've seen the typical talking heads being so-called outraged because a hallway at the White House was being demolished to put up a ballroom for future generations to enjoy. Now they can host dinners and events at the White House, and it's being paid for out of his own pocket. Like, are you people this dense? Are you this dense? You watch your Democratic overlords pretend like they're outraged and hear you guys going. Chris Valenti even had like fake tear videos. Watching the White House being destroyed. Oh, but no tears came out, Chris. You might want to spray the face a little bit ahead of time to kind of get the fake waterworks going. It's being paid for by his own money and some private investors. And now there will be a place for generations to come where they can hold balls, they can enjoy foreign leaders coming to the country, and people will be able to use this ballroom for decades to come. What you're more pressed about is the fact that Donald Trump's legacy is going to be on that White House forever. And that's what you're mad about. And I love it. I love it, especially because it's being paid for out by his own money. Okay? So you can't be like, oh, well, SNAP benefits are going away and we need a ballroom. His own money. I don't know if you guys read it. How hard is it for you people to stop letting social media people infiltrate your brain? It's so easy to get you guys so triggered all about the stupidest shit. And 90% of it's lies. And they're just lying to you to gaslight the shit out of you to keep you pressed and triggered and upset. Honest to God, it's just par for the course with you people. Every week it's something different that the overlords of the Democrat Party are telling you, this is what you must be mad about this week. And here you guys come like a fucking broken record being mad about it. Use your own thinking, use your own head, stop being told what to fucking think every single week by these people. Okay? Okay. I don't know what else we can talk about. See you next week when the next thing comes that you guys are going to be pressed about. Stop listening to this. And Hillary, maybe we sit this one out, babes. I noticed you turned your comments off on the video. Probably a smart thing, old Hillary. Good talk.
Oh my gosh, Donald Trump is destroying the White House. Y'all destroyed America for 4 years. And then Hillary Clinton wants to get on here and say that Donald Trump is destroying the people's house. Ma'am, I hate to break it to you, but come in close. I have a secret. Your husband got his tallywhacker sucked under the desk, and it wasn't even by you. You can sit this one completely out, ma'am. I'm just saying I would rather someone put a ballroom in my house than to get their fiddle played under the desk, okay? Priorities. Where was the outrage whenever Barack Obama put a basketball court in the White House? Or when Richard Nixon had a bowling alley put in there? Am I missing something here? But President Trump wants to put a ballroom in the White House so he can host world leaders so they don't have to set out in an oversized circus tent on the North Lawn. But that's the problem. Oh, okay. Y'all are upset that one of the nation's most sacred places is getting a renovation. Are you kidding me? Y'all blow my mind every day. Add me on Snapchat. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
When Obama was in office, he took one of the tennis courts at the White House, changed the stripes around, and put up some goals and made himself a basketball court. And then he installed a swing set for his girls. Republicans had a meltdown. Well, Trump is tearing down the East Wing of the White House. Why? For his ballroom. The entire White House with the East Wing is only 55,000 square feet. Well, this ballroom is going to be 90,000 square feet. What's he compensating for? He said that he didn't need permission to demolish, only to build. But originally he said he would never touch the White House. He loved the White House. Well, he's not touching it. He's tearing it down. And he's filed a lawsuit, or had his loyalists file a lawsuit against the Department of Justice over the charges brought against him and the investigations against him. Remember, he was convicted of 34 felonies. But the lawsuit will come across his desk, and he decides whether or not it's paid. He said, isn't that weird? It's coming across my desk, and I decide whether or not... It's kind of like I'm paying myself. No, we're paying you. He's going to rip off the Treasury Department right before our eyes. $230 million. Oh, and Jeff Bezos pays a 1.1% tax rate. Just saying. And bologna's $7 a pack. Well, I've got to go to the dentist. I'd rather have my gums scraped than listen to this shit.
You see what they did to the White House? How could anybody stand behind this? How could anybody just be silent?
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House. It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million. Wait, you're kidding me. Obama did renovations to the White House and made taxpayers pay that much money? That's crazy. In 2010, and not one of you said a word? Not one of you? And now you're upset even though our tax dollars aren't paying for renovations and they tore down like a carport and some offices. It wasn't even actually the White House. And not a penny of it comes out of our own pockets, out of our tax dollars. Now you're upset? Interesting.
You can't make this up. You just can't make it up. What is it with this crypt-keeping, hued, makeup-wearing, yogurt Yeti escapees from the Caucasus Mountains by way of my family tree as a wreath, and I am a hybrid snow roach, snow rats. Yeah. Shell Patriot said she would go first. And obviously, the gaslighting has moved to a new level because she played a clip of a full interview to try to prove her point from 2010. Like, most of us that see this clip were not alive in 2010. So, instead of going on ad hominem rants, because that's all they're going to understand, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to play the full clip from 2010 that shows you that what President Obama did and how much it is different from the destruction of the East Wing, which she's calling a couple of carports. Yeah, let's get it.
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All of the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House. It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million. The basic problem, pipes up to 100 years old, which are running into the White House, causing disastrous and dangerous conditions.
This part of the White House hasn't been upgraded since some of it was built in 1902 and then upgraded some parts of it in 1934. We have electrical lines, water lines that haven't been upgraded since, and basically we're digging underground to fix them up.
So tell me about the problems that the White House has had. It's hard to believe that, yes, sometimes the lights go out at the White House, sometimes pipes have leaked. Have there really been those kinds of problems here?
There have been electrical outages at the White House. Telephones have gone down.
And what happens? Does the president call and say, my toilet's not flushing, the lights just went out?
So the residence itself, we haven't had those kinds of issues. But the West Wing, where the president does his business, has had those issues.
Bob Peck of the General Services Administration is overseeing the massive makeover of the East and West Wings, which include the Oval Office, the Situation Room, and the offices of the Secret Service and First Lady. So tell us what's actually happening here.
Well, we're digging trenches, burying new cable, burying new water pipes.
Congress approved funding of the project in 2008 after a Bush administration report revealed some systems in the White House were periodically failing. This project is going to cost some $376 million to the taxpayers. Some would say, really? Why would you spend that kind of money simply on a makeover for the White House when there's so many folks who are not doing well?
And we're aware it's underground work. But, it doesn't do a whole lot of good to have a building that's sort of the image of the free world standing up there and not functioning well. And to be honest, when you're digging underground and doing this kind of utility work, particularly in a White House environment, it's a costly project.
500 workers have security clearance to work on the 4-acre project. In the briefing room, things have been known to get pretty boisterous and heated, but it is nothing compared to the noise right outside in this construction zone. And it's right outside the Obama family residence. Have you ever gotten a call and said, look, you know what? This is too much noise. We're trying to sleep here. We're trying to think.
Well, you know, we have a very understanding first family, but we have a first family with some young kids who need to get their sleep.
So construction is normally limited to daylight hours. But despite the open nature of the project, it still attracts some suspicion. There are lots of conspiracies. They're saying, come on, could this really be electrical? Is this really phones? Or is it a secret tunnel that they're digging?
Yeah, you know, all I'll tell you is you can imagine it is a very secure infrastructure project. That's as much as I can say.
This construction project also impacts how we do our job. I don't take just 1, 2, but 3 steps to clear this 8-foot fence behind me so you can see the White House when we do our...
You can't make this up. You cannot make this up if you try. But it never fails. Some crypt-keeping hued maggot will try it. A project that was approved in 2008 because President Bush said that the White House was having infrastructure problems concerning plumbing and electrical use. And somehow you all equated that to what is happening now with the destruction, the demolition of the east wing of the White House. Not any just carports, but I know facts don't matter to you all. With upkeep. And then you make a big show of talking about it's being paid for by donations. This is the people's house, not Donald Trump's house. And the donations are expecting something in return for their investments. Yeah, you can't make this up. I can't believe you all cap for millionaires and billionaires and your makeup looks like that. Y'all have the day you deserve. Peace.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys have seen all of that clips I have for you guys. One thing I would say is, if the president did not actually go through the right process, honestly, that was really, really wrong, and it is so sad that a lot of MAGAs actually subscribe to this. That's just the honest truth. Because I remember one certain time when he was actually offered an interview and the orange man said that he was not going to touch any parts of the White House. So seeing videos and clips flying that the demolition of the White House actually started is amazing to some. To some persons, they were like, yes, let him go ahead and do whatsoever he chooses. He's actually the president. And for me, I feel like personally, this is like wiping away a lot of histories that has been built there. I'm not saying that he should not have his own opinion of building another separate White House if he so chooses to, or building another something very massive if he chooses to. Yes, he can. But why demolishing the one that was literally been there for years? That people have actually seen that as far as I'm concerned, a part of honor to the country. You choose to demolish it. That is to say, you are absolutely a dictatorship. And you know the amazing part is he will always scream and say he is not a dictator. People should stop calling him dictator. But when a president just go ahead to do things that he so wish, that at the end of it, after all, I'm the one that actually made this happen, or I'm actually the one ruling. It is so, so sad, and that is actually an insult as far as I'm concerned to the face of America. America, that a lot of people have literally been wishing to go to, literally been rushing to subscribe to. A lot of people can no longer even talk about it. Why? Because one person has single-handedly dropped the glory that was actually bestowed upon it. This is so good for MAGA, especially for those ones that feel like, yes, he needs to be there for them to actually feed. I don't know if this November food stamp cuts actually go through. I don't know how you people are going to actually cope, because Walmart is already on fire. Where we see videos and clips flying that people are doing theft, like taking some stuffs. I don't know. And at the end of the day, this one is now coming. It is quite really sad and unfortunate for a lot of Americans out there. And I really, really feel their pains for those ones that did not actually subscribe to this. And this brings me to why I said this man is literally setting a trap. And only few people will definitely understand. Because imagine if the next president actually come to take over before the next president will fix what this man has actually destroyed. honestly, the person's tenure has actually passed or exceeded or moved to another tenure. And if the next person that is coming is actually trying to fix, or the person now choose that I don't care about what really happened, I don't care about fixing it, what I just care about is my pocket, my family, or I just care about bringing out rules and regulation that at the end of the day is going to be beneficiary to me and me alone and my family, then the country will just keep going down, down, and down, and down. It is so sad that I cannot literally just give this country to black people that have actually built this country to continue this mentorship, because I've seen it that absolutely it is only people that look like me that can actually rule this country and bring this country back to shape. Because let it make sense to me that every single thing that a lot of people are trying to put together, this man is destroying it. Where you're supposed to be looking out for people that have not eaten, how you can actually bring out your food stamp and the rest of that, and so on and so forth, your focus increase. And then a lot of people will come for me in the comment section and be like, yes, he's not building it with the taxpayers' money. He's not building it with Americans' money. He's building it with his friends, foreigners, and his own personal money. I literally do not care where he's actually building it from. But as far as I'm concerned, any single place he's building it from, I believe strongly that America's money must be involved. Taxpayers' money must be involved in one way or the other, either negatively or positively. I don't want to know. And that is the part that I'm so pissed. But anyways, who are we to tell the Mr. President what to do? The person that actually know how to fix the nation by himself. He should go ahead and keep fixing, right? But let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me a comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. And yes, with no further ado, I do add the quality in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye, guys. I love you guys. Mwah.